Hey everyone, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. We are doing a Let's Play tutorial for AGEOD Civil War II. This is now episode number 14, I believe, and we are focused in here on Memphis, kind of more to the west, where we have some interesting things going on. Now, I named the last episode Leonidas Polk is in the house because indeed he is, and he is a two-star general, which is the first two-star general we've seen. He gets 8 command points, but he's got this force out here at Memphis that he is going to take over. Now, I promised last time since we didn't completely resolve this turn, that we were going to kind of go look out here to the west, what we have going on. We have J.O. Shelby. He's here with 74 combat power and a whole lot of good generalship. But that being said, we've got Nathaniel Lyon, who is coming down here and wants to take Springfield. So this is kind of a cavalry screen. We're just out here scouting about. We also have Sterling Price down here. We have Ben McCullough down here with a pretty sizable force, actually. 228. Price has 189 power. But what I really wanted to show you is let's back up a little bit and go down into the west, is that there is a whole nother war over here that we haven't really looked at. But we're going to because we have Baylor out here. So Baylor just showed up with some Arizona Rangers. Maybe you've never heard of them. You always hear about the Texas Rangers, and you can buy those in this game, and we probably will be at some point here. But we've got some Arizona a spy group, I guess. I don't know, Arizona Spy, and New Mexico Volunteers. But this is a pretty decent little force out here, 103, so I thought I would point it out. We have these off-map boxes. They kind of operate like, hey, we cannot draw the entire map all the way out to California. So we're going to put a box, where the major cities are, and then it just takes a certain number of days to move to the next box. So for instance, if he's locked, we'll do this eventually where I'll just show you. We'll move him over here to northern Mexico, and you see where you can move here, right? So if we're in this region, you can jump over here to Tucson. You cannot do it here. So you would have to go Tucson, eastern Arizona, up to western Arizona, and so on and so forth. But we just hadn't talked about it, so I wanted to show you that far west. It hasn't been an issue yet. I mean, this map obviously goes all the way down into Mexico because the Mexicans could become involved. I don't think I've ever seen them become involved, but we could probably play the game that would, a game that would get them involved if we wanted to. Up here in Houston, I was just kind of looking around because, we're vulnerable here. You want to kind of call it a soft underbelly, if you will. We're vulnerable down in here if the North brings troops this way. And so let's kind of look at New Orleans really fast. We've got the transports, we got the Mississippi that's building, we've got the Manassas that is currently locked for 3 more turns. We've got some Louisiana volunteers, and we're building this brigade down here. We did that previously. But this time I also said, hey, we're going to go through our messages. You definitely always want to go through the 3 over here. Well, there may be 5 or 6, but you want to go through these really important ones, right? So you'll remember last time we authorized pay for volunteers, $1.50. Doesn't seem like a whole lot to put your life on the line, but damn inflation, right? The second one is, oh, people laugh about this one all the time. Evidently, I guess this happened back in 1861, and it was seen as some kind of portent of the devastation that was to come. Read that if you wish. Lincoln calls for volunteers. He wants 75,000 militiamen. And that is the great advantage of the North, right? They have more manpower. They definitely have more war supply. So conscripts, money, war supply, rail, they've got more of everything. That makes the game a challenge. But let's get down in here into our messages. When we go like this, it now shows all 81 messages, but let's filter them for the scripted events. We already saw this. Um, the Arkansas, the Mississippi, the Tennessee ironclad has been laid down in Mobile, so we hadn't seen that yet. We click on that, we'll see in Mobile, you see the one here, and there's the Tennessee. Okay, that's interesting. We saw the Great Comet. We may increase our rail pool again, and I do believe we did that in a previous episode. Let's go to various. We did indeed. So we're increasing the rail pool. We're paying some money for volunteers, which I guess doesn't exactly make them pure volunteers, but hey, here's $1.50, and you have signed up for the Confederate Army. Fantastic. Um, Keep going down through here. Let's filter this again. Um, Congress, okay, new military options are available. F3. Right, that's what we just did. Department of War. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Um, the Union has decided to build armories. They can do this till Kingdom Come. Atlanta Arsenal. Okay, so some of our arsenals have started here. And I don't think we've ever, well, let's go to the bottom of this and I'll come back up to it. Uh, and then again in Tennessee and Mississippi, Leonidas Polk is awaiting his new command. We saw that. And we had some cotton bales smuggled out and we gained 50. Now, what's going on over here? Battles, retreats, sieges. Our merchant raiders, hey, they sunk some merchant ships out in the shipping lanes. Remember, we just got Semus out here. Evidently, he hit something. That's great. I mean, I don't know, two money, two war supply is not going to make a big difference to the Union, but it's kind of fun. Our blockade runners did okay, and we have engaged up here in the Shenandoah Valley. Now, that's interesting. I feel like that kind of gives us some new information. The battle combat report did never post it up here. So, it will pop up when you fight a big battle. We didn't see that before. So obviously these were some kind of probing. We took some shots. They took some shots out here in the valley. I think we may see a big battle next time, which will pretty much be our first big battle. I mean, we're only in early July, so historically this is when Bull Run would have happened. Okay. We've got a whole lot of stuff here. 61 Generals Pool has arrived in Warren. You know, remember Gustav Smith he's up there. Wise's brigade has moved. J.O. Shelby has moved. Um, I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. We have a bunch of activations here. Of course, we saw all of that had been activated. Hey, our first headquarters they're saying is active. That can't be the case because, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't we had to take him out there for a minute because he was keeping us from being active. Hmm, where'd he go? Hold on. Is he over in Manassas Guard? No. He's got to be in our Army of the Potomac. He should be all the way to the end. Oh, I see. It keeps. Why is it popping us up there? I'm definitely on Beauregard. There's our headquarters support. He's not all the way built, so they're telling us he's active. So he's not fixed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We've got him in the army. No Union army is close enough to activate us anyway. Wouldn't matter. Now Elzey's brigade is all. I'm so glad that they clicked me over here. We need to put him in the army of the Shenandoah because he's now active, and we don't want him on his own. Where this stack could kind of attack him and then supposedly Johnston's going to come reinforce. He could be wiped out before we could get there. If we put him in the stack, um, he's with this group. They all are part of that at the same time. This does not give us a command penalty because Elzey's brigade just added 3. We've seen before it only actually added 2. That's fine. 16 out of 18, we're good. We talked about zones of control last time, so let's keep going down here. Jones, first headquarters, third Texas. Oh, so a lot of these, that's right. Ben McCullough is now active out here. We're gonna have to deal with that. And then, yeah, so these are all out here in Arkansas or Richmond. Bushrod Johnson is now active again, supposedly. He activates and deactivates a lot. He's not a very good general. Um, cool. Okay, let's see. We had some replacements and new units. Good to know. Ownership changes. Um, Interesting. Okay, so down here in Missouri, this is where they're marching through Missouri. They're taking some of this. Uh, they took back Harper's Ferry. We kind of already knew that, right? Um, these are all out in the Indian Territory. So Fort Gibson. So this is out here by Sterling Price. Okay, fine, whatever. Um, and again, this is all just kind of, hey, what's going on? Systems and various. What a name for it. Systems and various. So now that we know all that, let's figure out, let's play some cards if we can. So let's go down. Got some cotton bales. We've already done that. That's good. Oh, that's right. We went through the cards. Sorry. We do not need to do that again. We probably will buy troops because we've got armories going. Oh, that is one thing I wanted to go look at really quickly. Atlanta Arsenal has started construction. So let's look at the town of Atlanta. Now, this is something we haven't really done. We've always been looking at the armies themselves. But let's look at Atlanta, and to do that, you press on Control and then left click, and you can see everything that's Atlanta. So we've got a depot there. We've got a rolling mill, which is pushing out, war supplies. We could go look at that if we wanted. There you go. It tells you output 2 money, 1 war supply, 34 supplies, so on and so forth. Atlanta Arsenal. Now you can see what that will pump out when this is built. So every town has these. We just haven't really kind of looked at them yet because it's all abstracted up into supply and, war supply and whatnot. But this all does exist out here in the game. And when you see this marker here, it means that there is industry there. So if you ever are just curious what's going on in each town. But mainly you can play it from a high level, which says we just want a lot of war supply being built. Okay, fair enough. Now you'll remember we've got the Carolina guys down here. This always turns to a train when you're putting them on rail. They're coming all the way north. But let's work from, you know what, this time, let's work from west to east. Now we have Baylor out here. Baylor is 411. He's got terrible seniority, 135. So anybody that we put out here would outrank him, probably. He's got special abilities, Indian fighting skill. Well, that looks like that might be pretty helpful out here, right? Then we have Supply Ranger. Again, that looks very helpful out here. So he is pretty good. When we can form him into something more, he would get bonuses for those two, as far as his leadership command points. But right now he's a 3-2. Um, he's leading 4, but it's saying 3. Okay, we'll take that bonus. That's fine. Um, but there's nothing he can do. He's locked right now. He's locked for, I think it's 3 turns. We're about to find out. Oh my goodness, 7 turns. Now down here, what's at El Paso? We have what is this? The 8th Texas, power 17. It's 1 unit. I'm always tempted to buy a thing or two down here. You would like to keep these areas. Tucson is actually, I believe, an objective city. Is that right? Am I right about that? El Paso. No, it's El Paso. Now, Tucson is a strategic city. It's not an objective city. So we've got El Paso here. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So really, there's no reason to ever go over here. I never do, but I was like, oh, you might want to go up to Tucson. We really just need to protect El Paso. So we've got this little force here. If he gets activated, we'll just move him down to El Paso. There's no reason to have anything else. It doesn't really threaten anything. Now you'll see Union has some cowboys out here. There are lots of Indians or Native Americans out here. They're neutral as of right now. There will be decisions later where we can try to get them on our side, and we will do that. So let's go out to where some things are starting to happen. Now we've got Ben McCullough down here, and the real question is, do we take him from Little Rock and bring him up here and let him take over for Price? Basically, he would take command here. Um, he's got Army of the West. He cannot actually form it into an army because we read that before. It's got to be a three-star general that forms this army, and we just don't have one yet. He's got a good force, but he's got, essentially no command points. Now, what could happen eventually is we could have him and Price running a group and have Price be a division commander and then stuff everything in with Price, which I think is what we're going to do. We've still got the Arkansas State Guard here. 33 is plenty for this. So we're going to take the Army of the West and we're going to bring them up here to Fort Smith. That's 39 days. Okay. Let's see what happens if we try to move them by river. Now that takes a lot of our river, but it's only going to be one turn. So we are going to do that. I mean, that took a lot of our river away. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Now see, when you click off river, it pops you straight back here. They don't want you to do it by accident. We're showing 55 river points. You know, I don't think we're in a huge supply problem. It's the middle of the summer. I haven't seen anything where there's a supply problem, so that's fine. We're going to bring him by river here. Now, meanwhile, we haven't talked a lot about Price. He's at Fayette, Arkansas. We've got him on defense and kind of a stout defense, right? Defend, defend. And so that's fine. We don't want him to retreat anywhere. This little force looks like, it's one infantry unit. If they come over here and want to attack, that's fine. What we really have to worry about is what's going on right up here. Now, Shelby is sitting here. He's got a decent force. They're cavalry. They're not going to take on Nathaniel Lyon, who seems to have artillery with him and he's got the second US, so that's indicating he's got a division with him. I doubt it's quite that much. Um, but we are going to have Shelby again. We've got him on defend and we've got him on retreat if engaged. That's perfect. That's fine. He can sit here. If Lion comes down here, he'll just, back off and come back down to us. That's fine. Now, as we get over to Memphis, we've got Polk here, and we've got, now remember, this is that 2 second. This keeps activating and deactivating. I think it deactivated when it got a new element out here, which is fine. We don't really need it for anything. Here's another Memphis force, and here's that supply wagon. So what do we have here? Yeah, we have a supply wagon already. Okay, we're going to take Polk and put him in charge of this Memphis force. We are also going to take this Memphis force and put it into that Memphis force. Okay, we're up to 135. Now he's providing 4 points of command because normally he's a 2-star general. Normally it would be 8. Again, he's outside of the chain of command. We've talked extensively about that. He's now on top of 7 elements, what they're counting as 7 elements. Um, Even though it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My guess is these aren't full yet, but they have something in them. So they're counting as 2 elements. That's fine. For now, we'll put the supply wagon in there. Doesn't hurt anything. That's cool. We've got the Arkansas They're inside Memphis. Um, so we're just going to leave them there. This is a nice garrison. When this builds, we're going to send them up with, oh, I'm sorry, I'd gotten for far south down there. We're going to send them up here with Hollands. Now, wait a minute. Did I just see that we had? Yeah. Okay. I was looking at this. I thought that these were gunboats. I guess they're transports. When we do build this ironclad, we are going to send it up here. You can see that these guys are already holding off. This is a little Union force that came down here to militia. Great. We're still building up Corinth. Remember when we started doing that? It takes a long time to build a territory, develop a territory. Okay, I think we're totally fine there. I do want to potentially build another force here in New Orleans, so we're going to bring that up, and let's just actually see what we have available. Oh, we have new big Virginia forces here. We also have a Tennessee force. We need to start building here with Polk. Um, but we also need to, if we go up to Nashville, we need to start building with Zollicoffer, I'm sorry. Um, he's got 394, which isn't terrible. It's a fair question whether we should build something here. I mean, he's not under pressure yet. This force here is not pressuring him. We have no pressure here because basically the Union has not pushed Kentucky. Kentucky is still neutral. It's still darkened out here. So the Union can't just like walk through Kentucky. Kentucky will join the Confederacy. So we're still okay here. Now remember, it takes us a few turns to build, so we don't want to get complacent there. And I also still want to do more in New Orleans and Mobile. And now this is always the dilemma as the Confederate player, which is you've only got so much that you can build with, and what do you decide you are going to do? Well, the most important thing to do is build up here in Virginia. So, we've already decided we're doing very little with Johnston. He's in good shape. He's got 909 power. He's now even with McDowell. We've got Stonewall that's going to cut rail here. We've got our Winchester militia. That's fine. Oh yeah, we've got Magruder down here, and we've got this new Mahone's brigade, and Mahone is popping over here. Magruder is staying there. We also have Fulkerson's brigade, but this is a nice force, right? I like this Magruder force the way it is. Um, Correct. Right. We did this early in the turn. We're moving Vendor down here. He's going to go to Norfolk. No reason not to do that. Um, okay. Anyway, I think that this is all pretty well set up here in the east. Um, I don't think there's a whole lot we have to. I'm just kind of scanning the map here, and I don't think that there's a ton that we have to do. We're moving Mahone's brigade up here, so it's really just about building. Let's go ahead and build something. Let's take this infantry brigade here, and let's build them in Richmond. Okay, new units successfully ordered. We're down to 18 conscripts, 31 war supply. Let's build another volunteer unit. So this is considered Southwest. Let's get down here to Louisiana. We have sharpshooters that we could build here. Now their conscripts are 6, war supply 2. Oh, nice. Well, heck, why don't we build one, two of these guys in New Orleans. That's great. And then let's try to build one. I think, what have we figured out? That Alabama is southeast. Let's figure out. Is there anything we can build? Did I build too much? Oh, I may have. I don't think we could do. We can't even do a volunteer. You see this red stripe here? This will tell you that. Hmm. I was overly ambitious. That's fine. It's not the end of the world that we'll get something into Mobile next time. Let's maybe that gives us a good opportunity actually. We'll go out here into Tennessee and try to build a unit there. Now, what is Tennessee considered? The West? Okay, sure. Or is it? Let's see. It's not the West. It's not the far West. It's not the Southwest. Well, it's obviously not the deep South. Interesting. Actually, it's good to look at this. I want to make sure we didn't have a headquarters unit. Let's go back to all and go back to, let's go all the way here to this, to the right. Looks like we can get sharpshooters a few different places if we really wanted them. Um, hmm, that's interesting. Looks like maybe we don't. Well, there's cavalry Tennessee. Okay, let's keep going. Now they've got me interested. No volunteers. Oh, nope, nope, nope. I don't think, nope, there's nothing left. Well, that's fine. We've got 6 conscripts. Next time around, we will put something out here in Tennessee along this rail line and also in what's considered Western Virginia. We'll start to build this down the way. But that will be next time. And we will also resolve this turn. Well, you know what? We're 27 minutes. Let's just resolve this turn now. I like to watch turns run. Let's do it. Let's move it up here so if there's any movement, we can see that. Let's resolve the early July turn. Waiting. Sorry, there's dead air. Army of the Potomac has arrived. Uh, Okay. Oh, here comes Nathaniel Lyon, maybe. Looks like he was getting some reinforcements there. I always like to watch these. I love WeGo games. I wish more games were like this because, and I do know it's hard to program this. It would be very, very difficult to program WeGo. It's so much easier to do I go, you go, or at least I think so. I'm not a programmer, but it seems to me intuitive that it would be much, much more difficult to program a game this way, where it's, you move instantaneously and much harder for the AI to keep up with, I would think. Um, but hey, whatever. That's part of the reason I love these AGEOD games is because of this, because of this movement. It's not like I move my tile and then I know, kind of exactly what they're going to do. It's all moving at the same time. Now, I'm very surprised we haven't gotten a big battle. I was hoping to get a big battle over there in the Shenandoah. Um, and it may still be coming. As you see, they're bringing another army down there, and you can watch that happen. Now, Lion is, and here we go. Okay, see the 3 here, that star? That's our entrenchment level. Now, this is supposedly how the battle's going, which this seems to show us doing poorly. It is going to flip here in a minute because Johnson is in a great position and you see that. As a matter of fact, McDowell withdrew. Confederate victory. This is the first big battle, the Battle of Strasburg in early July. So, as opposed to real history that started at Bull Run, the first big battle of our Civil War started at Strasbourg in early July. So, it was actually July 7th of 1861. The Civil War has really, really got going. Now, this is something that is kind of fun to go through. You could do this at a high level, or you could do it very granular if you wanted to. One thing we've done is turn off the battle planner. To me, it just doesn't add a whole lot to the game. It gives you like three or four different options of how you could fight the battle. I would rather be like, Jefferson Davis, let my generals do it based on their stats. So anyway, this tells you how many men you had in the battle, how many men the Union had, how much cavalry you have and they have, um, how much cannon you have and they have. Now, total inflicted. This is, basically how much of a hurt did you put them on? Um, Initial range, elements. It tells you all of this information. I'm not going to go through every single thing here. The important thing is we lost 1,260 men. They lost almost 3,000. They lost almost 700 horse. We lost 335. We lost no cannon. They lost 18. The cohesion here is listed. And then you'll see any special factors here. So we were fully supplied. You can read all of these yourself. These were the commanders that we had involved and that they had involved. So we can kind of see, what generals they had. Hunter, Heinzelman was out here. We see that McDowell is listed as a 322. Then you'll see all the different brigades that were out here, and you can see, your unit had a medium hit probability during this round. A nearby supply source increased your effectiveness. Our men showed signs of coward. Well, you never want to see that. I'm glad that's the Union, not us, huh? You can see how much uh, basically this is how much damage that they took and how many inflicted hits. So they inflicted three, they suffered two, and they show you the cohesion they took away from the enemy and how much they lost. So you can look at all of these stats. But I'm glad to see a Confederate victory. Now, see, he was on assault. We fought in the woods. This was great. You saw that we had that entrenchment and that was really why we probably won that battle. Now McDowell is a 3-2-2. Um, Johnston, of course, out there has a 4 defense. I think he's a 4-2-4. So he's a little better general, and definitely on the defense, he's a better general than McDowell. And so that is, those are the main reasons we won the battle. Now we'll see the rest of this resolve. So we had it. This is again why I like this WeGo system. We've seen a big battle resolve, but the game goes on, right? We're on day 12, and it will continue here. Now they're bringing a ton of people up there to Harper's Ferry. We're going to have to look at that. Oh, okay, okay. J.O. Shelby, Nathaniel Lyon kind of ran into J.O. Shelby. J.O. had 1,201 men, 1,200 horse out here. Nathaniel Lyon had more men, had about half the number of horse, but he did have some cannon, and I think that's really where he got the advantage. So, we told Shelby, get out of there. I kind of wish he would have gotten out of there maybe a little sooner, but that's not the end of the world. We lost a little bit here, but he's going to retreat. But we did lose the Battle of Springfield to Nathaniel Lyon. George B. McClellan. That just said McClellan arrived up in Ohio. If you don't know the history of McClellan, he became a hero out here in Ohio, um, and that really led to his reputation. The North was starved for a hero, and he won some small-scale battles in Ohio, and that, made him a Union Northern hero, which eventually led to him being called Little Napoleon, which seems ridiculous. Now he wasn't and isn't in this game as bad of a general as history has made him out to be, but he was certainly not a little Napoleon. Okay, so it looks like we've now processed early July. we'll look around here really quickly and then we'll wrap up the turn. Shelby actually decided to retreat this way. That's fine. Doesn't matter. He's got a lot of speed because he is a cavalry force. We'll just bring him back down here. Fort Wayne, they don't have much over there, so they're not going to attack us. But we've got Nathaniel Lyon here. We're going to have to think about that. We've got to force another force on the way, so that's nice. Now, when we go over here to... Okay, so the Union's coming down the river here. They've got an army coming down. We'll have to take a look at that. Zollicoffer is now activated with a, look at this command. Okay, not great. Um, oh, I did want to go up here and look. Right, so they brought an army over here. Floyd is now 16 days out from Covington. Okay, that's fine. Jackson, oh, nice. So Jackson has cut the railway here. If we move Stonewall, you see he's cut the railway, which was our purpose here. The Union has a huge force up here. McDowell is still down here, but I don't think we have a supply problem. We don't. Now, I always look over here. This is our general supply, so that's fine. We're not cut off from anything. I mean, he's sitting in our region. We did lose a little ammunition, but that's because we fought a battle this turn, no biggie. And you see, we still have level 3 entrenchment. So if he tries to hit again, you will see he is not activated this time. He's kind of gone back into his entrenchment. There will be no activation for him. That's a symptom of us turning on the activation rules to the edge. So he evidently failed his dice roll. That's okay. That's fine. I mean, if he gets attacked, he'll activate. Beauregard also appears to have failed, but that's fine. He's under no pressure. The Union moved through Alexandria up here to Harper's Ferry. They are massing troops up here. So we're going to have to think about that for a minute because we really don't want them to go Winchester to New Madrid. But we're going to deal with all of that next time. As always, I want to thank you for joining me. I really enjoy playing this game. Hopefully, you enjoy listening to me describe it and talk about it. And we're going to continue on. Next time it will be late July. But as always, thank you for strategy from Strategy Gaming Dojo, and I will talk to you next time.